Thank you. I must admit it is very exciting to be here. I don't think I've been this excited since Channel 5 did a whole evening of reruns of Cowboy Builders. As you probably guessed from that last joke, I do like crap TV. I'm a big fan of crap adverts as well. My favourite advert at the moment is the Euro Disney one, where the parents paint on the wall that they're going to Euro Disney as a way of breaking it to the kids. Now this influenced me, and I thought I'd do the same for my lot. So one day, house to myself, set to work. When they came back, there it was, blazoned across the living room wall, "We're going to Blackpool." Which apparently would have been a lovely gesture had it not been written in my own shit. Another thing I'll tell you about myself, I'm a big news fan, especially local news. It tends to be a bit funnier, a bit quirkier. I remember once reading this story about this couple who were complaining because they'd gone to a mobile phone shop, bought themselves a new mobile phone, and when they'd got it home, they were looking through the video clip section, and they found a hardcore pornographic film.
Hello.
I thought to myself, there really is no fucking pleasing some people, is there? The picture that accompanied the article was great. At the front, big fat woman, face like thunder. But deep down, you just knew that she'd love what was happening to that girl in that video to be happening to her. And at the back, the husband, with a look on his face as if to say, "Sorry lads, I've got to go through with this or she'll stop cooking me dinners." And there was one line that stuck out in my head, which was a quote from the wife, and she said something along the lines of, "Sometimes I get so upset about this whole situation, my husband has to take the phone away to a separate room." I thought, I bet he does, the dirty little wanker. I remember also once reading this story about this guy in Norfolk who'd gone a bit mad with his shotgun. He'd ended up shooting his mother, his sister, his auntie and his grandmother. I thought, just the one victim then. And also recently I read a shocking one that was actually, I think it might have been from the Hertfordshire News, not meant all to tie with the same brush obviously, and the headline was, "Girl sexually assaulted by trio." I'll tell you what, the Bee Gees went down in my estimation. And I can only conclude that if they weren't responsible, then she was attacked by an out-of-control rampant chocolate biscuit. National news, however, that's just terrifying. Terrorism, that's top of my fear list, although I must admit to you, I did have an inkling that something was going to happen in London that time when my 2005 complimentary Al Qaeda diary was the first edition to have a tube map in the back. Swine flu, God, that was just as bad. I remember thinking, if you can get that killer disease through having sex with a pig, some of my mates have got no chance. But it turns out that the fears I was experiencing were nothing compared to those experienced by Kermit the Frog. Fozzie Bear got the sniffles at one point as well, which looked to confirm those rumours. And of course, one of the most high-profile national news stories we've had recently was the marriage of Prince William, although I understand he's not going to be wearing a wedding ring. Looks like he's going to be a slag, just like his mother. It's all right, the Queen agrees with me, I can tell it. I am married myself, I must admit. I've got 3 children, all boys aged under 8. Can be hard work at the moment, but I'm consoling myself with the fact that given a few years, there's going to be some cracking porn knocking around our house. And judging by the way one of them behaves, not all of it heterosexual. I've been with my wife for about 8 years now, and I'll be honest with you, people are tring. The commencement of our physical relationship brought to an end, for me anyway, what some people might describe as a dry spell. And such was this dry spell that for the first few days after it had happened for the first time, I got the feeling I suspect I'll get if England ever win the World Cup in my lifetime. Insofar as I was walking around thinking, that did actually happen, didn't it? And I became convinced that the only way I could be sure that it happened that first time was for it to happen again. And when it did happen again, what happened to me is what I would expect to happen to England if they ever found themselves as defending champions at the World Cup. And that's a spectacular exit at the semi-stage. Anyway, things progressed and we started reproducing, believe it or not, and for me, the most magical, special moment about having our first child was the registration of the birth. I mean, that moment a real-life woman commits to paper that she's had sex with you, that is something else. And I was, one more story before I leave you. I was driving along the motorway the other day, and I drove underneath one of those overhead signs, and it said, Junction 13, 36 miles, 35 minutes. I thought to myself, that's not an instruction, that's a challenge. I was going to get off at Junction 11, but the gauntlet has been laid down. You up? I don't care if the kids have been sick everywhere and you need a piss. I have been provoked. And the good news, ladies and gentlemen, I did it in 29. Thank you.
Oh yeah!